All right.
Okay, thank you, Rita, so much for giving Mark and I the opportunity to interview you for our personnel board. Mark Laporte's going to go first and ask his questions, and then I was going to go second.
Sure. Is Mark on the board now?
Yes.
He's on the personnel board. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. I know I attended a couple meetings, but I don't remember seeing Mark there. But
Yeah.
maybe he just wasn't there. Okay. Thank you.
Hi, Rita.
Hi, Mark.
I'm Mark Laporte. I've actually joined the board last December. So I've been on the board just about a year, and almost exactly a year to the date. So I appreciate you taking some time out to talk with us today. And by the way, I'm an alternate, so I'm not a full board member. I'm an alternate, so I want to make sure you're clear about that. So I'll ask you, go ahead and start out with my first question. What do you see as the future of the McCandless Police Department?
Oh, McCandless specifically? Well, the outreach that has started with this the police academy that started this year is an excellent beginning to what I see as the future of the police, connecting more with the community, letting us know what they need, what they have, how they work. I think that's a great outreach, and I see that is happening more. I think the future involves a lot of technology for police in general. I mean, we have databases now that we've never had on felons. We have databases on so much facial recognition. I mean, there's just so many things that are going to be available for police to use. And I think that all of that will be beneficial. And I think the police letting us know what is there, what they need is part of the future for the police here in McCandless.
Okay, thank you. Carolyn, am I going to continue?
Yes, if you want to go ahead and do all your questions, then I'll do mine. Yep.
Rita, what do you think your learning curve would be if you were appointed to the board? And how fast can you come up to speed on items such as policies, codes, and procedures?
Yes, well, pretty fast, I imagine. I have an understanding. I sat in on a meeting where they were starting to revamp what they would consider their qualifications. Right now, I think it's a 4-year degree and or 4 years of experience. That's all important, but they were considering reducing the 4-year degree. I think that was one of the considerations the board was having because it's so hard to get people on the force. I don't think I agree with that, but I think you have to find ways to encourage people to apply. And there's so many things a police officer needs. I mean, you know, you're an engineer and you know how to do the formula and you're in. You're a police officer and you have to have empathy, sympathy, sociology, psychology. You have to make decisions on the split second. And you have to know all of that. And does it come with experience? I don't know. It's a difficult job. So am I answering the question? I think, yes, I could get up to speed very fast on all of that. I think I have an understanding of where the board is, what the requirements are, and what we do. I think what you do on that board is very confidential, especially when it comes to rating and moving police officers along from patrol to lieutenant or sergeant or wherever they're going. All of that is very involved with testing and numbers. And then when there are complaints, you are part of that negotiation as well. So it's a very important job you do on that board. And yeah, I think I know what it involves. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. How have you handled ethical dilemmas in the past as they relate to hiring and interviewing candidates? Or can you relate to such a situation?
Yeah, when I was a librarian in North Allegheny, oftentimes I was in on interviews because the librarian, of course, interacts with all teachers. I was also a representative to the union, and I had to deal with errors made by our teachers and that interviewing them with the principal and the vice principal and moving that along to the next level. You have to change your face. You know, you're a colleague, and you have to change into someone who is a little different. And sometimes it involves a friend, and you have to lay down the law and say, look, this is a totally different approach. What you've done was not correct, and you have to take on a different face. And I think that's part of integrity when you're dealing with a problem. And I think that that's how I would handle it.
Thank you, Rita. My last question, and this rarely happens, but what is your approach to handling conflicts and disagreements between board members?
Between what?
Board members. Apologize, I just flew back.
Oh, that's okay. No, that's okay.
No, I just flew back across the country and I found out I had COVID. I mean,
Oh, you're
from being in
kidding.
Florida
What are your
So,
symptoms?
I'm glad
What are
we're
your
doing
symptoms?
this. I'm glad we're doing this over Zoom. But yeah, I found out yesterday I have COVID. So, but anyway,
Mark, what are your
voice-
symptoms? Can I ask what your symptoms are?
severe flu, loss of taste, loss of smell. But I just feel like I have just a really, really bad cold. So we went yesterday and found
Got
out.
your test. Oh,
So I
wow.
So my voice is a little off. But let me ask the question again, Rita.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is your approach to handling conflicts and disagreements between board members?
First of all, you listen. You don't talk. You listen to both sides, and you try to mediate that. And sometimes you do it better when they are not together. Sometimes if you talk to them separately, it gives you a better understanding of where they are. And then if you can bring them together and say, look, this is how so-and-so feels, this is how the other person feels, can we work this out? I think that works most of the time. I think I'm not judgmental when it comes to, those kinds of things. I think you have to be open-minded and try your best to negotiate between the two. I'm on a board now where that has happened. We had a new board member come on board that just did not quite fit in. I've been there for 13 years and I could tell there was like angst. So I kind of approached everybody and said, this person is really talented. They don't have a lot of communication skills, but let's see if we can use the skills they have. And I think that's how you have to approach things sometimes.
Well, thank you very much. Now I'll let Carolyn go ahead and ask a few questions.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, so Rita, my question you kind of already answered, but I'll just ask it and see if there's anything else that you'd like to share. But I wanted to know if you could let us in on any leadership positions you currently have or had till recently, just to understand like involvement in your leadership.
Yeah, well, of course, as a teacher, I was on many committees and had leadership responsibility there in the classroom, et cetera. Also in the union, I was a rep for the union. I'm now on the foundation board at the library, been on there for a while. Those are basically it. Leadership, church leadership. I was a leader with the youth group at church. So those are, kind of leadership positions. Always, a lot of times with youth, not always, but many times with youth.
That's great. Thank you. Okay, so what values do you bring to this position that you think will help accomplish things for the personnel board?
Oh gosh, okay. I think I have good judgment. I think I'm fair-minded, open-minded. I am a good listener, and I can pick up things pretty easily when I'm involved in something. I think I read people well. I think that's a really important, really important for anyone, really, to be able to see where a person's coming from and get them. And you do by listening.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Thank you. So why do you want this position?
It's a good question. When I look at all the open spots, I tried to pick something I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about the library, so I always am looking to get on that side of things. I'm passionate about the ambulance authority. I think that's a really and the fire department, and of course the police. I think those are positions that our township could not live without.
Mhm.
And so therefore my passion, I, bring that passion to whatever position I have on those boards.
Okay. All of our emergency services.
Mm.
Great. Okay, so I think that's it, unless there's any other questions. Nick, did you have anything? No.
Okay,
I thank
Well-
you so much, Rita.
you're welcome. Take care and good picking.
Thank you.
Have a good holiday, everybody. See you
Yep,
later.
Thank you, Rita.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, now end the recording as well.